What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the end of the regular season Bring the Thunder podcast. Today, man, what a day in the NBA. We're going to go through, the OKC game, of course. We're going to get into some play-in talk, some playoff bracket talk. Everything is now set. So we are ready to roll here. But first, we are going to start with the Thunder finishing the regular season at 68-14 with a nice win in New Orleans, 115-100 over the I guess we could call them New Orleans Pelicans, but I couldn't tell you half the guys on the floor today. I will shout out Aaron Wiggins, finished the season very strong, looks very promising to go into the playoffs with 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Um, that's great. Um, Isaiah Joe with 17, Kendrick with 17, Dylan Jones 13, Branden Carlson 26 points. What a night for the kid. What is going on, Hotspot Casino? How you doing, man? Yeah, but just what a way to finish off the season and to head into the playoffs. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'll mention Bradley's comment here. He kind of stole my thunder with the 68 wins. We had the second best uh, net rating ever. And then on top of that, we have the best point differential in history. So we hit a couple different records tonight. And then the guys played great, like you mentioned. Wiggins with 28, Carlson with 26 and 10. Kendrick and Dylan Jones both recorded double doubles. The bench unit has been fantastic in the back-to-back games. On the Pelican side, Antonio Reeves had 20 points. Mainly, though, I mean, 8 players were kind of held to not that much scoring. They're 21 and 61 record on their end, and we built like a 22-point lead, I believe, in the first quarter. So it was over fairly quickly. They did narrow the gap in the third with and then we kind of blew it back up with a 9-0 run. Some 3-pointers by Williams, Carlson, Jones. I know there was an ankle injury with Jay Will in this one. And surprisingly enough, we rebounded the Pelicans in this game, 17 offensive rebounds. Just a lot of second chance point creation. We had 21 of those. And on the season, we've swept them in a 4-game series. And that's with a combined margin of 79 points in terms of a differential. So that kind of summarizes most of the Pelicans versus Thunder series.
Yeah, it's not really just a this season thing either. We've kind of the past few years we kind of just owned the Pelicans and had their number. My 2 cents on the game are we saw what Carlson did with the 20-point double. You have to think if J Will plays more, we might get a 30-point triple double out of him. Like it's completely possible.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And then also we have Bradley dropping some more game knowledge here that we do have the largest gap between the first and second seed. So that's fantastic. Obviously, we have the most wins against the other conference. We have a bunch of NBA regular season records here. I believe 68 wins is like 7th best in NBA history as well. That's just off the top of my head. So, I mean, as a season as a whole, this is like possibly a top 5, top 3 season by a regular season NBA team. So even without anything happening in the playoffs, and we're about to discuss the playoffs play in right here, and I think it's a good time to transition over to that. But to reminisce about the season, we've had great moments, and then on top of that, just the consistency of the guys. Obviously, we've had tons of injuries, but the way it's shaping out, I can kind of go into the Western Conference play-in tournament. It's April 15th to the 18th. The first game is going to be the Grizzlies at Golden State, who are the number 7 seed. Game 2 would be the Dallas Mavericks at the Kings, and the loser of Game 1 would be playing the winner of Game 2. So we'll have to kind of see how that pans out, and then obviously whoever secures Game 1 will face the number 2 seed, the Rockets, and whoever wins Game 3 will be playing against us in the 8th seed. And so we can kind of break down our 4 potential opponents, which is Golden State Warriors, Memphis Grizzlies, the Sacramento Kings, and Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, I mean, let's dive right into that. Right before I do, I just want to just reminisce one more time on what a special season this was. Best team in the league by 4 games. The Cavs had an historic season as well. 4 games better. We got home court advantage throughout the playoffs. Sweet thing to say. But when we look back on it, definitely the best regular season in Oklahoma City Thunder history. I mean, super special. But yeah, let's get right into it.
Well, I was going to say the most impressive part of it all is the injuries we've had to battle with along the way. Chet's not hurt. If Chet's not hurt at the beginning of the season, this team's probably flirting with 70 wins.
Yeah, and same with Hartenstein as well. He was out the first month and a half of the year as well. So who knows? But still, best season ever. So, but yeah, as we dive into this, I'm going to dive into this 7-8 matchup first. Warriors at home against the Grizzlies for the first game. I believe the Warriors should come out on top. I do believe the Warriors should end up this 7 seed. We'll face the Houston Rockets. And then it would be Kings-Mavs. That's a tough game. I think the Mavericks are going to beat the Kings, to be honest, especially with a healthy AD. I think Dallas could get that one. So we'll have Memphis at home against Dallas. And that will be the 8 seed who we're going to be ending up playing. I'm not going to try to predict that one. I think Dallas could easily take that one. I also think Memphis could just be the better team that night. I just think either one of those matchups I'm completely fine with. I think we kind of lucked out here. I don't want to say lucked out because I do believe we would have beat anybody in the first round. But having those lower end teams, we could have easily ended up playing the Wolves, the Warriors, the Clippers. Those are better teams with better players on them. So super stoked that it's either going to be most likely Memphis or Dallas.
I haven't really paid attention over in Dallas. Are Gafford and Lively both going to be out for that game?
I think
No,
Lively, they're back.
back.
Lively and Gafford started.
They're fully as healthy as they can be.
Yeah, they played against
the roster that
Lakers.
they have. Yeah, they're just missing Kyrie. But overall, like from a defensive standpoint, that team's still pretty good. So
that would be interesting because the Kings can go big with Valanciunas and Sabonis. So it'll probably be a lot of big on big action in that game.
I think I would lean towards Dallas beating Sacramento, and I think I'd also lean towards Dallas beating the Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies firing their head coach. I know Dallas has had a roller coaster of a season, but the Grizzlies firing their head coach and being super inconsistent at the end of the season. I mean, I could see Dallas easily taking the 8 seed, and we'll get our 1 versus 8 OKC versus Dallas. How about that?
Yeah, they would just try to force us into the double big. They would send 2 bigs at us and force us to throw out the Chet and Hartenstein lineup, if I had to guess.
So what I wanted to do real quick, I kind of want to go over, touch upon like all the series right now that are locked in. So I'm not going to do 1-8, 2-7, but 3-6, great series, Lakers, Timberwolves, and 4-5, Nuggets, Clippers. I can't believe the Clippers ended up in the 5. I really thought the Warriors were going to make that leap, but Clippers ended up winning today. So Lakers, Timberwolves is going to be a hell of a series. And
Didn't realize that's happening.
They're going to end up facing the winner of Houston and most likely Golden State. So it's very likely that we're going to be seeing a Lakers-Golden State second round matchup, which is great for OKC. Get one of those teams out of the way.
That's great for OKC to get the Timberwolves or Lakers out of the way because Timberwolves have been solid against us this season, and the Lakers are just the Lakers. We know what they have to offer.
Yeah, Hotspot Casino says, let's say we do play Dallas here. Okay, so I don't know. Even as long we match up their intensity in play and hustle on the boards, we have to outplay them on the boards and perimeter defense. Yeah, they have a lot of bigs. Gafford's a monster. Lively's pretty solid. Obviously, Anthony Davis is outstanding. So, it's going to be a tough matchup down low, but our guard play should outplay their guard play, and we're going to have to just make shots.
I could see it. I could see Jay Will being a big player if we were to play them in the first round.
Absolutely.
Guy off the bench.
He could get some great minutes in that series. But yeah, let's go back to the possibility of the Lakers and the Warriors matching up in the semis. I don't think it could have ended up better for OKC. I know that they may have to play the Nuggets in the second round, but again, with them firing their coach and all the turmoil over there, I'm not too confident in Denver at all. So, I mean, all in all, OKC gets either Dallas or Memphis, most likely, and then they're going to get the Nuggets or the Clippers. It looks like a free ride to the Western Conference Finals to me. I'm not going to lie.
I wouldn't say we're fully, in the clear, but I believe that Nuggets Clippers series is going to be a dogfight through and through, and then whoever we face, we should be able to, gentlemen sweep whoever it is. So, and then we got pretty lucky with the Lakers and the Warriors having to see each other possibly, and even if they don't, even if the Lakers end up having to face possibly the Rockets or whatever, in case the Rockets win, I think the one series out of all of these that we're confident in is obviously the Thunder one on our side of the bracket, and then the Lakers side of the bracket. I mean, Luka's absolutely going to demolish and get rid of the Timberwolves pretty quickly.
Yeah, today really couldn't have played out any better for us as Thunder fans. I mean, basically the perfect setup playing wise. I wouldn't love to face Stephen Curry first round, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. There's definitely some teams out there that I would hate to play more than the Warriors. But the thing is, if the Thunder win, the Thunder make the Western Conference Finals, they're going to have their legs are going to be so much fresher than whoever they're playing, in my opinion. Because I think they'll come in probably 10, 11 games into that series under their legs. Team we play may have 50. Yeah, I don't know. The game differential will be insane because I feel like OKC is just going to run through.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope our first round series goes smoothly and maybe second round 6 tops. But yeah, you're right. And then another reason why this worked out so perfectly today is, I mean, you get the Lakers or the Timberwolves. It's most likely going to be the Lakers moving on, so you can get rid of the Timberwolves round 1. Golden State's going to have their hands full with Houston. It's going to be a tough series for them. I mean, they just held Curry to 3 points the other day, so. And they just lost to LA. It wasn't a great showing for them at all. So we'll see about that. But you get rid of either the Timberwolves or the Lakers round 1, and then round 2, you're either going to have the Lakers Warriors. So you're probably going to have Lakers Warriors. So another one of those teams gets wiped off the board. So we're really going to only have to handle most likely the Lakers in the Western Conference Final, as long as we get through Denver.
Yeah, I think if Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler bring their A game, that series with the Lakers has 7-game potential.
Yeah, I hope that's going to be a series. I think it will be a fantastic series. A lot of mismatches for both teams. I wouldn't be surprised if Golden State could catch them. I really wouldn't at all.
Yeah, I pretty much agree as well. They can definitely catch them. I feel like the series we should focus on is obviously this first round series with the Grizzlies, because Ja Morant has picked up his game since introducing his new celebration. He's shooting way more efficiently. When he's kind of in that zone or in that mode of playing that villain role, he plays a lot better. So I do feel like they're still a threat, but just the amount of depth we have, we should be able to take care of them. I believe in minimum maybe 5 games. If it really goes any further than that, maybe 6.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Landon.
The biggest thing is roster construction. Like, we have the exact, archetype wise, we have the exact same roster construction, but we just do everything better. There's not really anything Memphis has that would be a mismatch for us that I would be worried about.
I would say the only mismatch point would be they have Edey, who has a little bit more size over our centers.
Hartenstein's got that, respectfully.
I mean, yeah, we can say Hartenstein's got him in terms of from a defensive standpoint and offensive standpoint, more from a rebounding standpoint. He still soaks up rebounds with the size he has. You have to respect.
Rebound.
I think Zapier is being very fair to the Memphis Grizzlies fan base and team here. But bringing up Ja, he's been playing pretty excellent. had 4 games against OKC this year. I don't think he shot over like 45% once. We clamped him all season long. The guy I would actually be looking, forward to not seeing much from is Desmond Bane. When he gets hot, especially at home, he's a tough player to guard. He's a solid wing player, but we could definitely take Ja. Jaren Jackson, not consistent enough on offense for me to be scared of him. Good defensive presence, good rebounder. But yeah, I think it should be no more than 5 games, and that's being generous. And that's saying if we play Memphis. I mean, the other team it could be Sacramento. Who knows? But I'm really leaning towards Memphis or Dallas.
No, I feel like at home it would take a disaster for Memphis to beat us in Oklahoma City. They may hang one in Memphis, but Oklahoma City, I just can't visualize that happening.
Yeah, it would have to be a ridiculous shooting type of game from them, or really any team in this playoff run. But that's the one reason I kind of give them a little bit of respect, like where if we just don't come out in the first 2 quarters locked in like we need to, we've seen the guys. And in a playoff matchup like that, you can't really afford to give teams early leads. So that's where I could see us dropping at least maybe 1 game, possibly 2, maybe due to like momentum or something like that. But we'll still take the series, no problem. And then I guess moving towards that next series, I don't know if the Nuggets-Clippers series is even guaranteed that we'll see the Nuggets. With the way Kawhi is playing right now, what I just witnessed from him against the Golden State Warriors, what I just saw from James Harden, like I think Kawhi soaks up all of Harden's deficiencies as a player in terms of not having that clutch gene and just being the kind of go-to guy. Like we've seen Kawhi do it. He's won a championship multiple times now. So they're still a dangerous team. That series is going to go long. So
yeah, my biggest take there is Zubac is a good rebounder. Like he's not going to let Jokic get any rebounds easy. And Jokic is a great player, but he doesn't really physical matchups aren't his preferred matchups. And that Zubac will get physical with him. Zubac is a pretty physical player. So he'll probably be scarred up by the end of that series.
Yeah, absolutely. And got to give Zubac a lot of credit. I think he's deserving of a top 3 most improved player. I mean, he's a top 10 center in this league out of nowhere. He's going crazy. He just had a triple-double the other night. Unbelievable. But I still think I would have Denver. But as Satvir was saying, I've said multiple times, the Clippers you have to take seriously. I don't care if it was looking like we were going to play them first round a couple weeks ago. They have Hall of Fame talent on their team, not all-star talent, Hall of Fame talent with Harden, Kawhi. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup no matter what. I still think I'm going to lean towards Denver just because of, honestly, Jokic, and I think Jamal Murray steps up in the playoffs a bit. Aaron Gordon kind of steps up in the playoffs a bit. We'll see how MPJ does. If he's on, then the Clippers might be done there. But Zubac versus Jokic is going to be a fun matchup. I'm not saying that Zubac is going to go 30 for 30 with this guy, but see how he does.
Yeah, the way that the Clippers will be successful in the playoffs, up top they're so talented with Kawhi, Harden, Powell, and Zubac. That's a really solid starting core. It's really about the pieces around them. Like, what can I expect out of Dunn in the playoffs? What can I expect out of Bogdanovich? What are those guys going to give me? Are they going to step up, or are their stats going to sink come playoff time?
So here's a question. Here's a question I could ask the both of you. Expecting that we will get through the first round, would you rather see Denver or would you rather see the Los Angeles Clippers in the second round?
Oh, that's tough. It's definitely close.
It's really close. I think they're very similar teams when it comes to their depth. I would say the Nuggets have a little bit more depth from what I just saw them do, at least today and just in the regular season alone. Like Ty Lue, he's a Hall of Fame level coach as well, and he does not trust his bench unit. Like the fact that he has to forcibly give Ben Simmons even any amount of time on the court and a couple other guys where he just kind of has to put bodies on the court to get some of the guys rest. And if he can prefer it, he'll pull a Tom Thibodeau where he can play all his starters as much of the maximum minutes. And I think from like a long-term, 7-game series standpoint, like they cannot hang with us. So if I had to say like which series I would prefer us to have, it would be the Clippers. But I would say probably the Nuggets just beat them from like a just purely depth standpoint. And then even against us, I think the Nuggets are going to have major problems when it comes to depth. Like after their
Russ.
7-8 man, they just really don't have anyone to support. So
It's like Russ then Pickett. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Landon, what do you think? Who's your ideal second round matchup? And
I'm also leaning towards the Nuggets. The Clippers are on an 8-game win streak. They just beat the Warriors in Golden State. If they win that first round series, they're going to be riding hot. Basically, when Harden was talking to the reporter after the game, he said, like, we're not getting the respect we deserve. We deserve to be on the radar as a contender. So I think they would be super hot. And when you have a defender as talented as Lou Dort, Lou Dort should be able to take – if we were to be in a series with the Nuggets, Lou Dort should be able to take Murray out in most of those games. So the main thing would just be stopping Jokic.
I think you both made great points, but I got to go with I'd rather see the Clippers for one reason, or maybe a couple of reasons. I think Denver has not great depth at all, but they are tall and they are long. Aaron Gordon's a pretty big dude. MPJ, I know he's just a shooter, but he killed us in that Sunday game about a month ago. So he's tall and long as well. The Clippers, we could throw a bunch of guards on Harden, bunch of wing players on Kawhi, as in Dort and Caruso and the rest of the guys. I have a lot more faith in us playing the Clippers, and also just because the Clippers like to sell. I mean, they always do every year. But then on the other hand, how many times is Westbrook going to lose in the first round? So maybe we will be seeing the Clippers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's one of those series that is really just a coin flip. Like it could literally go either way.
Yeah.
And
I think
it's funny because if we were to like say that in the beginning of the season, I was taking Denver 10 times out of 10. But what happened?
Yeah, without their coach, someone I asked in the in the comment section, I think it was Hotspot Casino, mentioning why did they fire their coach? Essentially, like the players stopped believing in him, and he stopped believing in the players, and it got to like a boiling point.
I labeled it as a culture change.
Yeah, culture change. I mean, they just kind of did an overhaul in full regard. So
I talked to some Denver fans, and they said there wasn't a great connection between the general manager and head coach either. So
I have a bit of a different opinion on this, and I think it's ridiculous. I think he got hard on the players. They just won a championship 2 seasons ago, and I think they were starting to get lazy. He said they weren't watching film. He called them out, straight to the media. He called them out a few times for not working hard. And I don't think Jokic liked it. I don't know why. There's also reports saying that Jokic wasn't happy with the team's defense. Ironically enough, I mean, so you fired the coach that just won you a chip 2 years ago? I don't think so, man. I really don't. I think there's a lot of holes in that roster. And if the reports are true that, they don't watch film, they're not putting in the work. I mean, they are. Throughout the season, they have been kind of lazy. I mean, this Denver team's better than a 49 win team. So I think it's soft, that firing. And then if you're going to fire the coach, you fire the GM too? I mean, I don't know.
Maybe it's like they don't think the GM's putting them in a position to win, like his moves aren't sufficient enough to keep Jokic happy or something like that.
I could possibly agree with that. I mean, like we've been saying, Denver's not very deep at all. But again, you just won an NBA championship. I think it's soft and it's rushed. So I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy about it. But I don't know.
Yeah, no complaints over here.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that we can say the Clippers seem to be picking up a little bit more consistency than the Nuggets have this late into the season. Where before, with the way Kawhi's knees were looking and James Harden and just the Clipper squad in total, like we didn't think they'd pull it together in the way they have. And that's why we're kind of mentioning it as a coin toss, because Clippers are playing as best basketball as they can possibly play. And then Nuggets are kind of on a weird place right now.
It's a good point by Hotspot because, the Clippers are a bit older. Even Norman Powell's a bit older. He's been around for a while. I'm 50-50, Hotspot. I'm 50-50. I really honestly don't care. I don't care who we see in the second round. I think we should get through them. Like I said, first round 5 games tops, second round 6 games tops, and then we'll see who we're going to play. I think it's either going to be Lakers or the Warriors, and happy to be on the opposite side of those two teams.
Biggest problem for me is the slight chance we get the Warriors first round. The second round, I'm not worried because we'll be riding hot off the first series, probably winning 4 or 5 games and feed off of that energy and bring it into the second round.
Yeah, that's a good point as well because I was pleasantly surprised that the Clippers did take out the Warriors today. I didn't really think they would, especially, the Warriors just beat out, the Lakers in Los Angeles, like a week ago. So, they've been playing pretty decent ball. I think there's ways to beat this Golden State team, but we don't have to worry about that right now.
I think it would be worst case scenario just to put it out there that if Golden State lost to the Grizzlies in that first matchup, and then obviously they'd probably win whoever they face after that. But if we ended up having to play the Warriors in the first round and then have to face a really tough Nuggets or Clippers team, I think that'd be probably the toughest road compared to the other side. So this Grizzlies Warriors game, Thunder fans should definitely be cheering for the Warriors to win.
Yeah, I don't see how the Grizzlies could take this one. I really don't. A team in the playoffs with, Steve Kerr at, head coach, and then you got Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, pretty decent depth around them, better than what people think. They're not going to lose to a team who just fired their head coach, team that hasn't been healthy all season long, team that could not shoot the 3-point shot at all. I just don't see it happening, especially at home. I don't know.
Are the Warriors still starting Post at center? Quentin Post?
No.
Okay. I was just curious.
No, it's definitely Draymond starting.
They start Pods and Moody with Draymond at the center.
I was interested because everyone thought he was a Thunder player for like 7 minutes on draft night until I realized he's getting shipped off to the Warriors.
If you guys want, we can hold on. I got Hotspot Casino. I got to disagree with you on this one, man. I got to disagree with you. I don't think Minnesota could guard Luka for their lives. Could be an interesting series. I don't necessarily. I think Luka's going to dominate this series. But
it's a big prove-it series for Anthony Edwards, though. Can he lead a team?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I don't know. It'll be a fun series to watch, at least. But if you guys did want to, we could talk about the other side, the Eastern Conference, for a little bit.
Very down. That side's interesting.
So the play-in, not as interesting on the Eastern side. We got 7-8 matchup, Magic Hawks. I guess that's a 50-50 game if you want to call it that. And 9-10 Bulls Heat. Again, both of these teams will be either playing the Cavs or the Celtics. So that's a sweep or 5 for both of those teams. I wanted to really dive into that 3-6 matchup on the Eastern Conference side. Knicks Pistons is going to be awesome.
It's going to be a dogfight.
It's going to be a dogfight, and the Pistons are coming off 3 straight wins over New York. So I don't know, man.
I think the Knicks are
taking
New York. I'm still
taking
New York, man.
I think I'm taking New York as well. But they're definitely on upset alert for sure. That Pistons team is gritty, and they've been playing excellent basketball. Not today. Connington had 43 on them today, but they weren't playing anybody.
Yeah, there's a catch to that series because I think I saw somewhere that if that series gets into the later games, that they may have Ivy coming back. I don't know.
Yeah, he was picking up basketball activity. I'm not sure if it's first round or second round that he'd be available.
I think they said late first if they get there or early second. So
yeah, I wouldn't count on Ivy though. The type of injury he had to even
that would be tough. That would be tough to just come back in the playoffs and everything to click for him right away.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that needs a lot of rhythm and things to fall his way for him to play the smooth type of basketball that's kind of required for the playoffs. The reason I'm going with the Knicks against the Pistons is the Knicks just have too much talent. Like, whenever I'm looking at 50-50 series, similar to like the Nuggets Clippers, I just look at the talent across the board, and the Knicks just have too much talent. I mean, Brunson's probably the best player in that series, and that's usually the way I always lean when it comes to series in general. So
Hotspot Casino, yeah, Brunson is in, so you're taking the Knicks. I mean, here's my argument for Detroit. I want to make an argument for Detroit. I think
I have an argument for Detroit too.
I think Detroit kind of dominated the Knicks all season long. Like I said, 3 wins in a row against them. I think Detroit is going to be popping at home. So if they could get 1 in the Garden, it's very possible that they could take 2 right back in Detroit. They're young. They don't know better. They're extremely excited. They play hard. And I think when Cade matches up with Jalen Brunson, Cade wins most of the time because he's bigger. He shoots over him. And then if they want to slide Brunson to guard someone else, I mean, they could slide him to guard like Malik Beasley, but it kind of just takes him out. So I don't think Karl Anthony Towns is a good defender. I think Detroit could kind of body them inside a bit.
That's a good matchup with Duren and Cat, right? That's
a great matchup. No disrespect to Cat. I mean, he's a top tier center.
Cat's dropping 30 a game.
Yeah, but is that the way for the Knicks to win? I don't know.
We'll find out, but I know he's dropping 30 a game. So
definitely is going to drop.
I could care less.
My biggest thing is, how Thibodeau's going to coach. He's going to go like 7-8 deep, and he's big on giving his best players the most minutes.
Well, it's playoff time now. He's going 7 deep tops.
Yeah. And then Pistons might go a little deeper than they do. So if the Pistons can hang some games on them early, especially get one in New York, the series gets later, the Knicks might have a little the Knicks might not have the juice to hang with them by then.
That'll be a super exciting matchup on the Eastern side, on the Eastern Conference side. You got the Pacers and the Bucks. I'm not going to dive into that right now. We can talk about that as series gets going. And then you got Celtics probably going to play the Magic, and Cleveland are going to play Miami or Chicago. So we'll be seeing most likely a Boston-Cleveland Eastern Conference final. I mean, it's not their fault that their conference sucks, but that's just the way it is. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to keep it rolling, we can. But I'm all out. I'm just ready for these playoffs to get going.
So the way it's formatted, if the Knicks win that series, would they have the Celtics in the second round?
Knicks play the Celtics in the second round. Yep.
Yeah,
that would be a great series going back and forth between Boston and New York.
Yeah, I think Boston sweeps them. To be fully honest with you, I think they're 10 times better than New York.
The Celtics are gonna be in the finals. They're on the easier side of the bracket.
I don't disagree, but I don't necessarily know about a sweep because the Knicks have so many scoring options that they could get hot and
absolutely
put 1 or 2 games on them.
Absolutely, I just think Boston is just much better than New York.
I don't really trust Al Horford against Karl Anthony Towns. That's the big thing for me.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point.
Then again, the Celtics have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who on the Knicks is guarding them. So
yeah, and
it'd be an interesting matchup.
Porzingis just went crazy against the Knicks in New York as well. I mean, he's going to want that matchup. But yeah, I mean, I'm all set if you guys want to wrap this up.
That was great.
When is the first day of the play-in? What date?
April 15th.
April 15th. So what is that? Tuesday.
Yeah, it's the 7 and 8 games first.
Okay, so Tuesday we will see the Golden State Warriors home against the Memphis Grizzlies, and we will most likely find out if it's going to be Memphis or Dallas that night. Well, we will find out it's going to be one of those two teams. Rooting for Memphis, but super excited to get these things going here.
Yeah, once we kind of know the finalized opponent, we'll do a deeper dive into the first round series.
Absolutely.
And then keep it going. And then also we'll be going. Also, I was going to mention we'll be going live for most of those games, and
absolutely
hope to have everyone join in because that's going to be the most fun.
Yeah, watch Joe have a heart attack twice, maybe a stroke here and there. It's going to be a rough ride, but we're going to get through it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Landon, you all set over there?
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate for joining the live. This will be posted, so you guys could always rerun this. If you're loving our content, leave a subscribe on the YouTube. Follow us on all socials. I'm not even going to repeat them. I'm just so bored of saying that. But again, thank you guys. And I think, this one's got to be big because it's playoff season. Thunder up, baby. Let's go.